Hello, I'm Mesk. I'm returning to you today to discuss cosmic and fuck shit. I'm here to talk about shit. Solo wrong auto vicality. The champions of Aquaria, Shambler, Knight of a Realm, Shadowcloak, Skull Crush, and whatever the fuck this is supposed to be. Invisible. So, we're going to talk about... Oh, I see. It's you! It's you! It's all the way fucking over there! Let's talk about this map. We're going to unpause. So that's a single player bug. Whew, I've had one hell of a week. An absolutely despicable, disgusting week and a hell of a day to end it off. So, we're going to see what awaits us here. So, this map is kind of strange. At first, it kind of reminded me of that last map, but I forget the name of this one. It is something different. So, a fairly spacious open main here. A little hole there to plug. And two bridges / cliffs over here. Kind of strange. Very unusual cliff over here. So quite an exposed natural, but a more defensible main than normal. Third over here. So it's just kind of a strange looking map. Lots of unbuildable shit all over the place. You've got these strange cliff formations over here. So this is more of a non-standard map, I feel. Although once again, when we look at the mini-map, we can see it's quite light on expansions. With these corner expansions, they're not really super valuable because they've only got the one ridge on them. But most of these other expansions here have at least a geyser, but usually geyser and a ridge. So kind of sort of average, like mid-range economics. So let us begin. It is you, whom I believe to be Keyan, playing as Protoss on the bottom right, and Shambler Kun playing as Zerg on the top left. I see players. That's their faction as players. They didn't make some meme with it. It's quite a large map distance. I very much expect to see some very greedy openings on this. Especially from Shambler, he's kind of like veered away from the Hydrock only opening and has been just spamming Zethicors a lot, actually. It kind of caught me off guard. I figured he would go Hydrock only until the bitter ends. Only Hydra's being deleted would stop him from doing that. And indeed, it is what we're going to see in this match. Although I'm still not really expecting much aggression from him. I do feel like Keyan's going to go Vassals and or Sims. Just because Sims are the latest meme for some reason. I honestly haven't found much success with them, but I have a hard time clicking on small units with a mouse sensitivity in general, so it's, yeah, not too good. Double lattice. It could still be either. They are both very cheap. We're not going to see manifolds out of this, it looks like. No gas. And wait for it. Wait for it. Oh, A little sassy there. It is going to be Sims. I really was leaning more towards Vassals because of the map distance. Sims are going to have the long distance to cross. And I feel like Zethicors are probably still very good against them just because of the armor pen. Oh, the cheek! The cheek! There's a lot of resources being floated by Shambler at the moment. I feel like that. He's gonna go over there and he's going to be cock-blocked. Oh! Ow! Oh! Oh! Right in the taint. Absolutely barbaric. Keyan really pulled up for that too, just saved right up for it. There comes the Vassals. The Sims are not moving out. I wonder if he's gonna let that finish. He might. He might let that finish. Oh, some Tickalisks have arrived. He's uh-oh, he canceled it. No balls. No balls on this man. He wasn't even attacking it. He knew it was going to get canceled. If it had just finished. I mean, it's quite an investment just to be dirty, but absolutely a worthwhile investment. Checking around to see if there's anything lurking around. Obviously expected some kind of early aggression, especially since nothing was actually attacking that, but it didn't happen. No early expansion attempt. Shambler is floating an absolute fuck ton of resources, but all went into static defenses. Circuit colonies have been buffed, and I've already been cheesed by that once. And they attack a little bit faster now, so they're slightly more dangerous. There is a number of sims and a handful of vassals here. The Quasis stand a good chance of spawning a large number of sims just by touching them inappropriately. Or appropriately, I guess. Maybe Keyan wants to be touched. The sims reproduce when touched. It's kind of strange, actually. Single word in there and a word in here. Keyan not really sure where the military units went. Maybe figures they were back in the base. The expansion died. Shambler out. Shambler's going to pull back. Not gonna go for the base trade. Maybe a little tired of those antics. Aggressive tickling. Focusing a lot on that Keyan colony. Taking a little bit of damage. Oh, God. The Tickle Meisters have arrived. It's a duel of the Tickles. Gonna try to focus fire these guys down. We'll kill this Wraith colony. It's like 50 minerals. Not amazing. So Shambler took a fair bit of damage from that, absolutely denying the expansion, losing a couple of defenses, some drones, military units, and also his attack, which may have harassed Keyan a lot if it had come down there while missing those. Yeah, he won't get any pressure in, but at the same time, if he hadn't have pulled back, it's very possible Keyan would have dealt much more damage. Maybe he might have been able to force down more of these circuit colonies and just deal like irreparable damage to the economy and on top of it. So the expansion's coming back. Keyan doesn't really have a lot here, but this bridge makes it quite defensible. Keyan's gonna come out. That might be a mistake here. God. Pray to God that when we're finally out of this place, the sneezing finally comes to an end, because holy shit. I know it doesn't show too much in recording, but it's just like 24/7. Every fucking day, all night, regardless of the season, just sneezing incessantly. It's utterly miserable. So quickly morph to the extractor there. Exciscent, that's a strange word. The manifold's walk cycle graces us once more. There is an ardent authority. I have no idea what that does. Oh, it builds the shoes. He's gonna build some shoes. There is a young man who has been rendering some replacement graphics, and they should have him take a hammer to every single one of these awkward looking buildings. But seeing as he uses Blender, I'm sure he's already just one step from necking himself anyways. Gotta make use of him while you can. More manifolds coming. Just wants the damage, I guess, at this stage. To focus firing on the Sims is kind of nullifying their effectiveness. really slowed down a lot. No more aggression from either player. Shambler's just trying to get back up. And Keyan is quite content to sit here for a while building shoes. Oh, they build 2 at a time. Servitor. 5 armor pens. Still got quite a lot of armor pen. It's not like Quasilisks have armor. But more importantly is that they look like shoes or slippers or something. They're very, very peculiar looking. And the sound that they make sounds like being slapped by a sandal on top of it. Unless that's been changed. However, that armor pen will help them against structures. These Quasis are just going to get stepped on pretty much immediately. Surely he sees them. What's going on here? Oh, there we go. Gave birth to himself, the ultimate male fantasy, peak form. You may not like it, but that is what peak performance looks like. And of course, the spam of vassals. Keyan, true to his namesake, assembling the sandals and the vassals. Some more defenses coming up here. Some hydras. Quite a number of units hiding around, but they're all sort of split up. Keyan has got some money in the bank. Not mining gas from here yet, though. The gas is slightly prohibitive, but he does have an amount hanging around. How did he have vision on that ledge? That was weird. Oh, the shoes charge forth. Keyan gets kind of separated on this ledge here. But as the hydras ascend, they're going to take more and more damage. The shoes slip away into the night. Oh. Or maybe not. Oh! Well, that went kind of terribly. Additional shoes and manifolds are en route. But Keyan may realize, wait a second. I need more structures. He's going to commit to the shoes. More shoes. I don't know. I'm not really sure if their performance against hydras is particularly noteworthy. They are the same range. Guess it depends on their cost, how costly they are. More lattices and more shoes. I don't think there'll be too much difficulty defending this, though Shambler could get a lot of kills off of this ledge. Actually, breaking the base might be kind of hard. Third expansion coming down there. Looks like Keyan wants this. Additional Sims, just committing to the task. Some people commit to Dracodins, like deep, dark fantasies. Some people commit to Sims. A lot of people commit to Sims these days. I like the little line of Quasis over here, just lined up to go to Burger King or something. Gonna get that Reddit Happy Meal. Now it's Shambler's turn to float some money. It's probably looking towards tier 2 soon. Still got a lot of minerals though. This base is discovered just as it was coming down and is immediately destroyed. Scouts are going all over the place. There is that lull in activity. It's when you got to look when you can. That seems to be the cue for Keyan to move out now. I'm absolutely astonished he knew where to send these. I guess the replay vision... Oh yeah, isn't replay vision different? The actual in-game map does show the expansions, if I'm not mistaken. I just played a little while ago and I already forget that. My brain is just completely fucking fried. Pause, please. We escape the 5-hour pause where Keyan goes to watch the Teletubbies saga. As Shambler travels down to Mexico. Why? Because he needed his teeth pulled. Too much chewing, they said. Chewing on what? Shoes, of course. And more shoes are coming. Absolutely committed to the shoes manifold build. Very strange. That's the thing with this project, is there are fairly large tech trees, and Protoss in particular is quite flexible. These are all fairly low tier units. So there has to be some reason he's going for this as opposed to something more conventional. He might be hoping just to be able to snipe down buildings very fast with that armor penetration. And he might get the chance to. Shambler is trying to maneuver around here, but he did pull back. Oh, he might be able to catch these off. Good chunk of Shambler's units are not over here. Absolutely floundering here, just tickled all over. They still got that slapping noise. Their attack speed is not really super fast, though. So they've still only got the 60 health and 40 shields. There's so many more Zerg, they just get slapped down. It's okay, Keyan's got 1,000 more. He's also got 2,000 minerals. Shambler trying to break this base is going to be kind of difficult, though. We've got kind of the protruding buttocks of wardens. An expansion over here. Just taking over the map, simple stuff. We'll have tier 2 momentarily. I think he's going to hold off on the attack. Oh, he's already got some Bactylisks. He could make more. I mean, he could really just make just pure Bactylisks, and that's it about the moment. Just a wall of Bactylus, just the range. Good chunk of his units are not going to outrange the shoes. And his army got really split up over here. So the shoes are getting entangled in this intestine of a ramp. Whereas the rest of Shambler's forces all died to the wardens down here. And only a few stragglers managed to escape. It was an absolute mess. He got completely fucked up by those narrow choke points, and all of his shit got completely separated. I'm sure it was intentional for him to take this ledge, but I think turning everything into Bactylus first would have made a much bigger difference. Now here it is, Keyan's calling card. The absolute fucking swarm of vassals, and they may be able to destroy this base. Everything cancelled immediately. Engage the Tickle Storm. All the Zephycors are dying. It's disgusting. Now, I do believe that Zerg do in fact have a tier 2 anti-air defense now. I have no idea what it does or how good it is, but we might see it this game. Oh. Keyan made no real effort to defend that base at all. No Hydras came. No Quasis are coming now. Oh, I think it might have been unintended. There's more vessels. What the fuck? And yeah, he just kind of let it go down without a fight. He's not even going in there to sweep these up. Keyan was not really microing or anything in that battle. He may not be aware that they're all burrowed over there. So Shambler could just pop right back up and rebuild the Hatrosk immediately. Already into tier 2.5, he's just sitting back for the time being. Keyan's still just sitting on the 2 bases. No effort made to make a third yet. Going for the Ancestral Archives. The vassals are just roaming around, murdering anything they find. A scout sent down here just to check. The Matraville Nest is Shambler's go-to for this stage in the game. Oh, there's the tier 2 building. There it is. There it goes. Absolutely murdered. Vassals just annihilated it. Oh my god. Oh my god, the wiggling penises. Oh, their projectiles bounce, it looks like. I think they might bounce. They do some armor pen. Well, all the vassals died, but not before absolutely slaughtering the tier 2 defense and a handful of other things. At this stage in the game, it's quite cost effective to do that. The vassals are minerals only, and you just end up floating tons of minerals. But I feel like Keyan at this stage might need like another 8 lattices. Just build more of them. So many more. You want more vassals. Just blot out the sun. Once you can't create any more units, then the Zerg can't do anything about it. So the Speartith gains not really that much at all. It doesn't it gain like a slight bit of range? No range. No range at all. No damage at all. 0.5 versus 0.5. It gains some armor. And a slight amount of health. No, it loses health. Well, I mean, when you kill it, it goes back into the Spraith colony, right? So you technically are like increasing your health by 200. But I don't know if it has like a special ability or something, and I don't remember how expensive it is, but it doesn't really seem that good, especially compared to Sentinels. This expansion coming back up. The armada of shoes and vassals has assembled. There are now some Opticons. They are quite long range. 15 armor penetration. Kind of slow. There is a lot of shoes, though. Wow. But with these dudes and their AoE, I feel like the wiggling penises will be able to triumph against that. Because it's a lot of units, but they're very squishy. All depends if Shambler can get all his shit all bundled up, huh? Spamming the hell out of Zethagorus to try to get his minerals down. There is a Clarion. I think they're like the Anseal. Honestly, Shambler could go for these other expansions. There's no units roaming around for them at the time being. Oh, it's the beginning. The great Keyan shoe onslaught marches forward, hungering. Again, all of Shambler's military is spread all over the place, some at each rally point. And a couple units are going to come over here to scout. He's going to wonder, where are all the units at? It turns out they're just outside his back door. Oh, goodness. All the vassals are dying so miserably. However, the vassals took the damage for the shoes, and now the shoes unleash the onslaught of slapping noises. It's kind of like hearing rain or something, or hail against your window. A hail of slippers. Oh, you gotta protect your Opticons! Oh, Shambler's gonna just swarm them if he gets a chance to. Oh, that expansion was just absolutely massacred. And Shambler still has units to spare. He did not send his whole force to go defend that. Again, he might have been able to hold that off. Oof. Not moving in to resecure it and retake it. He's going, however, for tier 3. Oh yeah. They fixed Clarions. I think Clarions might like distribute their shields amongst each other or something. It's kind of a little hard to tell what was going on, but that's sort of what it looked like. There's a Strident Strand, that's what builds the Clarions. So the Opticons come out of the Ancestral Archives. I'll have to remember that. I thought it only built Archons, but I never knew where the Opticons actually came from. Keyan marches forward, but getting a little bit kerfluffled by the sheer number of Vorvicors here. It's not a good ramp for... Honestly, not a good ramp for either of them because the range is killing Keyan, but a lot of Shambler's units were stuck and unable to lend any damage. Keyan ends up losing that fight, but not before killing an absolutely ungodly number of Zerg. It was a very costly fight for Shambler in terms of military units. On top of losing the expansion, now that he's rebuilding it, he can maybe consider keeping his military units more out in a more actionable location. Keyan took this opportunity to start taking these expansions, although a single Vorvicor is here and could heckle him. Kin vassals alone saved the day. Oh, they died. Looks like Shambler will be able to successfully repel both of these bases and lock Keyan behind 2 bases once again. And if you look at Keyan's resources, he's not exactly hurting too much in the mineral department. He is, however, not sure how to respond to this and opts to try to corner these assholes first. Well, the Nather course died very quickly. Shambler's control is getting a little sloppy here. A lot of his units separated all over the place. Not moving them away when he needs to or whatever. Keyan getting in some fairly easy kills here and there. Monument of Sin. Well, if you've got gas, you may as well spend it. Shambler's money has all disappeared very quickly. There's a lot of Nathricors now. Can the Nathricors defeat the shoes? Oh, the Clarion charges forwards. And it dies. Meanwhile, some vassals came over there and died miserably. Keyan getting perhaps a little too scrappy and overcommitting after defeating those attacks. More shoes, more vassals. Lone Bactylisk is possibly going to die to vassals. It's dead. Miserable. Rebuilding defenses over here. Although he built the Oviform, he hasn't, I don't think, really been able to maximize that tech yet. Just trying to shut down these expansions and contain Keyan economically, but the hordes of vassals continue to swarm forth. Yeah, surely enough, there's a Star Sovereign on the way. Random Shambler units are getting tickled left and right. The 4 armor on these should make them quite resilient. But apparently not. It's okay, the vassals don't have that much health, so they just died anyways. Well, how big of a difference is a single star sovereign going to make? There's not really a lot of military units out for Shambler at the moment. He lost his army. He kind of sort of lost the army initiative on top of it. Although now you can see him starting to morph some of these structures. It's weird. These, oh, there you go. I don't know about that. They're there, but nothing's happening. And Keyan would very much like those expansions. He should build like... Oh, he's building vassals again. Or Sims, rather. He's leaving vassals going back to Sims. There's even a pylon up here. I guess he saw that Shambler just has 1 million Quasilisks and Zethicors. There is some high-tech structures here, but... Shambler is not quite at a very high stage for tech at the moment. Keyan is just sticking cannons in strange places, trying to prevent units from surrounding him. So there's a single star sovereign against mass Quasilisks. An expansion down here. Shambler is kind of in a very vulnerable situation, but now that the matchlets are finally out, adding brood spawn onto these units, their effectiveness is going to increase rather substantially. But he doesn't really have any heavy-hitting military units yet. I'm very curious why we've got these things in the progress bar and they're not doing anything. That's definitely a bug of some kind. I'm just curious why Shambler never went like error at this point. There really isn't any AoE. He could. This is one of the few cases you might be able to make use of Mutalisks. But it is gas. And gas is kind of... It looks like he just wants to spam numbers right now. So he's building all these hives for the Gath-Telosk. And there's a lot of overcores. There's a deceptive amount of health in this. 65 health and 2 armor. Man, if you really need gas, just head down to Ohio. Biden doesn't need the gas. It's okay. Keyan has a lot of shoes. Nope. Oh. There's not that many units over there. Keyan is kind of unwilling to kind of sort of poke his head out and take those bases. He is, however, slowly amassing Star Sovereigns from the single Monument of Sin, as Shambler gradually takes over the entire map. But his army is so low tech, though. This is going to be absolutely bizarre. It's just so low tech. Just going to be an insane amount of brood spawn. Oh, but Keyan's gonna stick his head out with some shoes here. I think he just needed the room. Just slowly amassing, but there's no cannons up here at all. He's got all the cannons on this ledge, but like you could almost proxy Nidus this or something. The shoes end up just squashing those quasis. Yeah, this area here is super vulnerable. There's still just the 2 cannons from the first part of the match there. This is going to turn into a didact, isn't it? The great tickling begins. Keyan really wanted to finally have a 3rd base, but it's not going to happen. Shambler really taking his sweet time with this. Finally getting some higher tier units. He's got some idle workers. Keyan is just creeping outwards. More Sims. More shoes, more Star Sovereigns. A part of the onslaught is finally heading its way over to stop the wall from being built. I don't know why he bothers to cancel them. He has so much fucking money. It doesn't make any difference. Alright, so we have Kagralisks, which have very high damage. Moderate range, higher than the Hydra. We have the Evagrilisk, which is, again, fairly high damage, high cooldown. Sort of fat. I think those are tier 2. Could be wrong, though. Meanwhile, Keyan has wardens. A lot of wardens. Never made any matrices because he never has the gas. The only way he's ever going to take these expansions back and secure them is by covering the entire southern part of the map in cannons. It's an extremely noble cause. We finally have the Ultra Cores. They're like Ultramarines, I guess. They have 6 armor pen and 20 damage. I guess they probably haven't changed much from their Starcraft counterpart, but they might have an ability I'm not familiar with. Keyan unwilling to even think about committing the Star Sovereigns quite yet. It looks like he is just content to sit back and wait for the onslaught, but we might start seeing some aggression coming out with the Didax. It could be also that he's just walling up so that in case it gets fucked up, he has some kind of buffer to fall on. But again, just some air units here would just kill this base instantly. Meanwhile, Shambler is like playing a Sim City or something, just like building some of every unit, and they're all just scattered all over the place. I really am surprised he didn't bother to take those other expansions. Too busy micromanaging all this crap running around, I guess. What the fuck? Oh god. Oh god, it's beginning. The Great Wall. Oh no. Oh. Yeah, the Star Sovereigns shouldn't really have many problems here, but can they save his base? There's so much shit swarming towards him in this giant tidal wave of piss. But a lot of his units have already died and turned into spawn. Remember, there's still the armada of shoes over here. Although they are getting outranged. Everything is stasis. It's just so many. So many brood spawn. The shoes are struggling a little bit over here. Oh shit, it's the patriarchy. He's spinning. And... oh, he shoots a laser. The fucking Star Sovereigns are just flying around the map with relative impunity. A few of these units do attack them, but most of them don't do hardly any damage. It turns out Quasilisks are not very good against Star Sovereigns. However, as expected, the air units went right for Keyan's main and killed it with impunity. However, Keyan's natural is still somehow alive, as the Star Sovereigns just killed thousands and thousands of Tier 1 Zerg. There you are. Those did a lot less damage to Keyan than I figured they were going to. Still, the onslaught continues. Slapping and slurping and tickling. Trying to squeeze through those narrow holes through his walls and walls of wardens. It's just a giant traffic jam. Most of the units die before they even get close to the Star Sovereigns. Shambler just can't enter his base. And when he does, his units tend to die miserably. Every now and then he gets to attack or touch one of the cannons. But finally, at long last, the onslaught of piss comes to an end. What will Shambler do? Will he go for higher level units? Kinda doesn't really seem so. Just gonna keep spamming the same old. He's still got the odd units just laying around. Bringing some detection for good measure. I don't know if they will survive long enough. Well, may as well build more cannons. I have no idea what this is. There was some kind of aura here. So it begins again. Shambler might need something more than tier 2 units and tier 1 units to break this reliably, but he does have a lot of root spawn. Those air units, they just get fucking destroyed though. They don't have very much health for how much damage the Star Sovereign does up front. There's so many. They're just decolliding from each other. Most of the time they can't do that much. Can Keyan hold out? There's so many Rillicors. Almost all the actual units are dead. It's just brood spawn slowly tickling him to death. I think he might have to go for higher attack. Finishing off Keyan is turning out to be difficult. Will Keyan replenish his stash of cannons? No. Maybe he's actually going to attack. The cannons are coming. Can the Star Sovereigns actually kill this up front without the cannons? They might be able to. They just fucking melted. Holy shit. There is a lot of armor on these. A lot of these units just don't deal that much damage up front. And can't armor pen on top of him. The Gorokars are doing some damage. Meanwhile, the onslaught flies towards his base, but he built a chunk of matrices this time. Shit is just dying left and right, and only scattered amounts are actually heading towards Keyan's base. The group of Star Sovereigns runs on a rampage, killing everything that Shambler is building. He's spamming Quasilisks still. If it wasn't for the fact he owned the entire map, he could actually be in trouble. The thing is, he doesn't really have a lot of gas at the moment. There exists a world where Shambler could actually take a lot of damage from this. He's getting absolutely fucked. This expansion's gonna die. It's fucked. Well, what to not build is well, I guess he has no gas. Like, he can only build Quasilisks. He can't build the Protothalors or whatever they are because they only attack ground. A mass of Melisks and Vithrilisks could possibly work. You just gotta spread them out. If he loses his main, he's actually gonna be in a little bit of trouble. This is a Quasilisk horde coming towards Keyan. Quasilisk and Zethicors. There is a number of matrices here. He's gonna lose his tag. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. It's an absolute massacre. These Star Sovereigns are giving Shambler a lot of trouble. There's a fair amount of range off of that. I guess they're all 8. But, yeah. His tech is fucked. Meanwhile, at Keyan's base, the wall of matrices defeat the wall of Quasilisks. There's still some tech structures for Shambler here, but yeah, he's losing. He's actually losing this. He never built Vithrilisks or anything like that. Keyan's getting pissed on, but that's not gonna stop him. Just like Patrick, there's a little bit of a piss fetish going on here. The convalisks don't do hardly any damage against these. They're fucked. Shambler's losing this. Oh my goodness. He's getting fucked. He's absolutely getting fucked. The tickling is just not enough. What the fuck is happening? Shambler hypothetically could still pull out of this, but he has to act very quickly by taking a lot of expansions and brute forcing down this base. Well, Star Sovereigns are basically the highest tech Protoss shit, along with the Anthelion, which is more of a utility unit than an attacker. There is the tier 2 tech. Keyan doesn't even bother to rebuild. Oh, no, wait! No, wait! Keyan finally took this base! He's been denied it the entire game! Never allowed to have that bottom corner base. Fuck it if he doesn't take it now! And someone finally takes this base. The Star Sovereigns split up and start hunting for rogue Shambler bases. And finally, Shambler has had enough. And he puts a bullet into his own brain. Okay then, I did not see Keyan coming out of that, honestly. That was, what the fuck? Dude, Keyan killed almost 5,000 units. Holy shit. He lost 530 units, 500 of which were assuredly cannons. Anything that wasn't a cannon was either a shoe or a vassal, and the occasional sim. Meanwhile, the structures. Wow, look at the resources. Holy fuck. Yeah, Shambler just stuck to tier 1 the entire... I mean, yes, he had some of the higher tier units and some of the tier 2 stuff, but... Quasilisks don't do very good against Star Sovereigns, as it turns out. Vithralisks might have helped. I don't know if they still have the armor shred. Like the way the corrosive spores worked before. I'm not sure how that works in this. But if they did have an armor shred, that would have actually made the Quasilisks viable. Either way, they do quite a bit of damage. The Melisk, I think, is 50 gas. I can't remember how much the Vithralisk is, but that could have been the route to go. Shambler is suiciding all of his Matroliths on top of it. Really didn't help either, because that was actually quite a significant gas investment to lose. When he attacked, he kind of just threw everything blindly into Keyan and chose like the least optimal route possible to attack. Like, the most optimal route to attack would have been to scout Keyan's base, see that his entire main was unprotected. And he did go in and destroy the main, but it would have been better to secure a foothold on the main and then, like, maybe build a Nidus, or I think you might even be able to airlift. I don't know, can you airlift a Nidus into there? You can airlift colonies. Can't you airlift a colony and then build a Nidus? And then that would give you a much easier angle of attack. That doesn't change the fact that the Star Sovereigns are killing everything that goes near them, because everything is so squishy that their upfront damage will just generally 1 or 2 shot them. So even though they took damage over time, most things weren't able to get a chance to attack them for a long time, until Shambler had already depleted most of his units and only had Quasilisks and some of the Stardust colonies left. And the Stardust colonies just didn't really seem to be that good. they just, I don't know. I feel like that maybe Pronago forgot to apply a damage boost or something to them. They might have an ability that you can't see in the replay on the command card. I'm not sure about that, but yeah, I feel like Vithrilisks would have been the go-to. Spread them out a little bit, and then Melisks might have died too fast, but the Vithrilisks do apply a debuff. I'm not sure how it works in this, again, but Vithrilisks plus maybe the Gaggerlisks could have worked together. Whatever the case was, Shambler, in general in this game, didn't really have his units grouped up a lot. He took a lot of damage all throughout the game and didn't really respond to stuff in quite, like a unified manner, because his units kind of just spread all over, and they kind of got separated a lot. Like, they'd be sitting like at individual rallies. I try to keep all my rallies in one spot so I avoid that problem, but I'm not even really accustomed to using multiple hotkey groups at a time anyways. So I usually just kind of like group stuff and blindly throw them and then micro the things that really benefit from being microed. Like in this case, it would be like the bigger units and then the matroliths and then, the artillery and then any air units, right? Whereas, since a lot of Shambler stuff tended to funnel into things, especially towards the end, individually and getting stuck on the chokes, yeah, I feel like there should have been a push towards air units. I mean, he did get Nathagors, but by the time the Nathagors started really coming out, they were getting really outclassed in the armor department, and there was a lot of AoE towards the end, so we started getting the what were they, the Masculisks or whatever they are, the flying eye tentacle things. I'm not really sure what to feel about those units either, because they didn't really feel like they were that strong, especially for how late in the tech they were. And I'm pretty sure that the Vithalisk is stronger anyway, so that might have been something to go for. It's it's telling when 3-4 Star Sovereigns can clear the entire map, and you couldn't even kill a single one of them, that whatever was going on wasn't going right.